Hello, everybody on Twitches and YouTubes. This is Nite Misfortune coming back once again with session number 8 of the Triquetra campaign. It feels like it's always forever between our sessions, but I'm happy to be back for another session with our fabulous 5 again, which is great. Ooh. And yeah, I guess let's go ahead and jump right into it. And well, before we do that, let's just do a quick voice check, I suppose, and just remind people what our voices sound like and who our characters are, starting with Cooper at the top of the Discord list.
Yes, I'm Cooper. I am playing Rada, and she is a Shen samurai. And I actually called her a Shen this time instead of Leonin. So.
There you go.
Yes.
Win. Next down is
I guess I'm next.
Nick. Yeah.
Hey, I'm Nick, and I am playing Cornelius, the human rogue.
Right.
I'm Jake, and I am playing Silky Johnson, the Goblin Wizard Extraordinaire.
You know, Jake, for having issues the previous night, you actually sound much better than you did last time. I guess you partied a lot before the
session. I'm not. Yes, today is only just sleep deprivation, not sleep deprivation and alcohol poisoning.
All right, Miles.
I am Miles. I am playing a Dragonborn paladin named Pot.
All right. And George?
I am George, and I am playing Ivarin, the Elven Wizard.
Sweet, sweet. And I am, again, Dimitri, aka Nite Misfortune. I am the Dungeon Master, and I will go ahead and jump right in with the recap for our Session 8. Previously on the Triquetra, descending into the Eternal Grotto on the quest for the Dwarven Crown that they hope to be a powerful temporal anchor, our adventurers are met with stout resistance of the giant Dwarven defenders. They barely manage to make past the foyer, but continue pressing forward to find their prize. Unfortunately, their journey continues to take for the worst when Ivarin gets stuck in a pressure cooker room, barely managing to evade total incineration. While his friends try to run around the entire dungeon to save him, Ivarin uses mysterious crimson sword to cut through the flame-breathing cannons like butter. Investigating the sword revealed more mystery, as it appears to hold some type of magic not matching any known school or origin. The party pressed on for the crown using the ever self-doubting Pot as a trap lure. They came to a room covered in symbols and covered in scorched bodies, very wisely choosing to evade this room. They start to discover that great evil permeated through the entire dungeon, strengthening as they continue through the grotto. Going around the death chamber and abandoning a half-solved puzzle, the group comes across something even worse, a room with great pools that have turned to blood. A decayed, bloody figure of a dwarven king sits in the center of the room and attacks the party on sight. Already significantly weakened, they are quickly overpowered. However, it appears that the king used a terrible sacrifice to suck the life force of his fellow dwarves in his quest for immortality. These dwarves did not perish forever. They came to the aid of the party and held off the king long enough for the wounded to escape, and even for Rada to snatch the crown off the king's head. Followed by the damning screams and curses of the dying king, they managed to escape, but not before our favorite Pot gets cursed. The party decides not to double-cross the great vampire emperor and complete his request to return the sword he requested. Krya, their companion in these lands, decides to split ways with them, saying that she has seen enough corruption in the quest for immortality and would abandon her quest for a cure to return to her homeland of Arthelia. As they split ways, the time stream opens once more and returns the party to the prism. On their way, Pot and Ivarin see a vision of the same fight against the king. In the vision, the party appears to be defeated. Upon their return to the prism, the time stream reopens and splits out an old, wrinkly man who appears to be very confused. When questioned, he reveals that he's from the year 2463 and that he was transporting some precious cargo, in air quotes, before being sucked into whatever he was now. The party proves to be extremely distrusting and lock the old man in a cell with no water. However, eventually they come around, mainly with the help and defense of Rida. Understandably, however, Cornelius wanted to return to his timeline. However, it seemed like he was not from any timeline that anyone had heard of in the prism. Coupled with the inherent instability of time travel, Cornelius is persuaded, for the time being, to help the party save the world from the plague. As their next step, the party decided to return to the year 2551 with their newfound anchor, the year that Termo Valen noted that he first met the party when they met him in 2596. Seeking to complete the loop and hopefully to learn something in the process regarding the infinite, an ominous group who seems to be responsible for the plague, the party returned to Solitude. They began their quest with a shopping spree. And that is where we pick right back up in the year 2551.
We did so much last session.
I know.
Also,
Sorry, I'm making sure I'm updating my notes to make sure that I'm so I'm going to be quiet. I'm going to be quiet for a couple seconds just because I definitely missed some story beats last time.
out of character, but I'm really glad we finally have a rogue because we've been getting our asses beat in these dungeons.
You think
Just
that
gonna
will help?
Just gonna throw that down. Not correct spelling.
So
Spam
I believe
type.
we just left off at the end of shopping. I believe we left off right when you guys were buying a bunch of items. I'm not sure if we got everything taken care of, but if anybody wants to do any additional shopping, we can do that now, I suppose.
I have just the number 150 written at the bottom of my sheet. Does anyone know what that
total gold? I think
total gold remaining?
I'm pretty sure that's platinum.
Yeah.
Platinum? Because we had to pull
150.
Yeah, nice one.
Actually, I
ruby?
think now that I'm remembering, I actually
It's
think it's
diamonds.
150 diamonds exactly.
Yeah.
I think it's actually Bitcoin.
Oh, God.
Well,
Ethereum.
So, what did we end up buying so far? We had the Decursed Me, right?
Yeah.
And then we got
I think we got
something-
some potions.
for the mages, didn't we?
Yeah. We did pick up a bunch of potions.
Did we get the? Oh,
And
we got the
spells,
sack.
I think
right?
of a robe of protection.
Right.
I've got the pouch. I'm holding the pouch.
Oh, yes, we
bag of
finally
holding,
have a bag of holding.
Yes.
Thank
Oh
God.
yeah, that's right. That's right.
which we have a shared. We should have a shared thing, right? Dimitri, if you.
Yes.
I don't know if we can bring that up or
There is I believe we created a document. I don't.
we
It's
did.
it's under handouts.
Oh yeah, bag of holding.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah, that's right.
and we
that's
can
what
edit
did.
this. Yeah. So that's
Mhm.
what we've got in the bag of holding at the moment. So we
It's
bought
been
that.
forever.
Some potions, and then we didn't really have that much left over. So maybe that's like
Like
my
store
character
left
has
for gold.
no. Yeah, I
I
have
think
no.
we
I think we
expended
burned
all of
through,
our
yeah.
gold.
Well,
Most of it.
I think
still have
that
a
was
little
that was
bit.
the argument I was making last time. Is
Mhm.
this also occurs to me that we could just go look at the last YouTube video and literally just figure out what's going on. But I think because I also have no gold, and I think we were advocating to like burn all our resources every single time because we're like never
Yeah.
sure we're going to come back to an area. Oh, that's right, because our ability to come to an area where we can buy things is very
Limited.
hit or miss.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
it makes no sense to be hoarding gold.
Yeah, gold has
We
no
should-
value in the present.
Right. So we
Fine,
should just burn our resources anytime we come back here.
hmm
Yeah.
So that maybe
I'm just-
I'll go quiet for a couple minutes and just scan through the last YouTube video. But I bet you 150 is our remaining
I think
overall
that's
resources.
probably correct.
Yeah.
It's probably
Well,
150
from our-
gold because the last
Yeah,
thing
exactly,
you bought
exactly.
was the
Yeah.
cloak of
Yeah.
protection.
Exactly.
So I'm pretty
exactly.
sure it's 150. Yeah, the last episode
was-
is not up on YouTube, but if you really want to watch it, it's on Twitch.
Okay, I will
Mm.
quickly
I
scan through the last.
I
30 seconds
seem
of
to
it.
have 229 gold in my sheet for some reason.
You might have Maybe you were the gold
was-
holder.
No, because
Maybe.
here's the thing. That 150 that was left over, that was from our party gold.
This is just my personal
and-
gold.
Yeah.
And some of us chipped in additional personal gold to buy the
Right.
things that we wanted, but we had
Right.
150 left from the party gold.
Hmm.
I still have about 700, a little bit less than 700, which I'm going to hold on to so that we can do things like, buy food and lodgings
Yeah.
and stuff.
Yeah.
Wimpy.
So,
Yeah, I have.
hey, I'm paying for your hotel bills and your room service. goddammit.
I have 0. Everything. I think I.
Yeah,
Because I was holding.
I'll give you each a gold piece, so you're not broke.
Thank you. Okay, thank you.
Just
I,
a token gold piece.
Yeah.
All right, excellent.
Token.
Thank you.
A notional comfort.
Take this
Money.
gold. And shut the fuck up.
Because I think Ryder and Pot were holding the money because of the weight.
Yeah.
So you would have the remainder of the party gold then, the party money.
Just put the
Oh.
remainder of the party
Yeah,
money in
let's
the bag
just-
of holding.
Yeah, let's just stick it in there.
Okay.
I mean, that's what
Yeah.
the bag of holding is for. It's our
Mhm.
party inventory, right?
Yeah. And I've also put a little stuff in there that I
We have, I think,
can't
plenty
be
of
bothered
room
holding.
in there.
Yeah. Yeah. We've got 23 pounds out of 250 used at the moment, which, yeah.
Nice.
No biggie.
Don't you
Okay,
guys have a
so
bag of holding now too,
yeah, we
Mhm.
do. Yeah, Pot's got it.
and that I believe the basic one holds up to like 250 pounds.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Nice.
So what exactly is our plan then? Now that we've
I think we're gonna go try
loaded
to
up.
find our good friend and see if he still hates us or not.
well, he can't hate us yet because we haven't met him yet in this
Okay,
time.
we're
right?
gonna make him hate us.
Did
Well-
it ever occur to anyone that Termo Valen seeing us not aging over several decades might have actually sparked the idea of immortality in his head?
Mm.
That's
Hmm.
deep.
This time travel shit gives me a headache. All right, so
So out of character, were we going to see Termo straight away, or were we seeing someone else?
I think we
can't
were
remember.
going to. Dimitri, remind me. I don't know if I've asked this, but I know last time we were here in the future, we couldn't get into his mansion or whatever. We had to kind of sneak in. Are the same kind of security measures in place, or is it easier for us to get access? Can we just knock on the door, or
So
it
I
still,
mean, in
super
general,
heavily guarded?
not at the end of the day, it hasn't been that much time, or rather, hasn't been that much time. I don't know. It's
okay.
confusing because it's before, right? Anyway, the castle is still there. The plum house is still within the castle. So you imagine if he's there, it's probably the same type of deal. However, Ivarin, if you can go ahead and make a history check to see if you can remember any particulars. All right, 16. Yeah, so since you've been here, you kind of remember the history a little bit more. And you do remember that during this time, Termo actually hasn't been the official leader of the Purple Vanguard yet.
Mm.
So, if that doesn't mean he's out in the open outside the castle or anything, but he's just not in charge, I guess.
Do we know who is in charge?
At this time, it would be, consulting my notes. Cathrock Valen.
Love that guy.
He's okay.
Okay. Well, I think our plan last time went pretty shitty, so maybe we should try something else.
yeah, I would tend to agree with that. I think we need some intel. Intel. Intelligence is what we need. So we should probably do some scouting or bribe someone for some information or something.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys are staying in the Brazen Ox at the time. So I believe you guys got some rooms there for a night, and then you went out shopping.
Yeah, it's our usual haunt. So I mean, are we all back now? I think we were all, since we were all
Yeah,
done.
I guess you guys
probably would be
do
back at the
shopping
inn, right?
spree. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So now we're probably like in a dark corner of the inn discussing our plan.
Yep.
Okay. Let's see. I don't quite remember. How much do we know about Cornelius's skill set at this point?
I don't think we know anything.
I
Well,
think
he did a
all you've seen me
demonstration.
do. Well, I think all you've seen me do is cast my own version of Dancing Lights and open a cell.
Yeah.
Okay, so but he opened the cell. So
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I'm going to turn to Cornelius and say, hey, you seem to have some knowledge of discretion. Do you think you could poke around and see what's up at the castle?
Yeah, sure. That sounds kind of dangerous. This will get me back to my timeline. Yes.
That's the hope. We're doing everything we can.
Can I put my hand on his hand and just look deep into his eyes and with a really kind smile just be like, absolutely.
That is the most terrifying thing that you've done yet.
I think I'm just holding like the smile just like completely frozen.
You know, I've seen lots of scary things in my day. That's right up there. Sure. Show me where I'm going. I'm not too familiar.
Ivarin pulls out a sheaf of paper and his pen and just like draws a quick sketch of Solitude, and then a second sheet of paper and like a quick sketch of the castle as he remembers it, and marks out like guard positions and stuff. I'm not asking you to get inside, Cornelius. I just want I just want you to find a good vantage, observe the guard posts, see if they've changed, watch the guard movements, see if you can figure out when they change shifts. You know, normal casing out type stuff.
Also, if you see a guy that looks like this and I attempt to draw Termo on the back of the paper.
I guess, what would this be? There's no art skill check.
There totally should be, though.
I think it should be athletics.
Acrobatics and
See,
deception.
I always feel like this version of D&D. I love 3E with all their different skills, or was it 4E? But yeah, this one doesn't have as many good ones. I think probably sleight of hand.
Performance.
I mean,
Shit.
let's do sleight of hand performance mix. Average the modifier.
Oh,
so
great.
yours would be like
1.5.
Yeah.
Should I just do a straight 20 then?
Yeah, +1, yeah.
I believe.
Ooh,
Oh, look at that.
yeah.
There it is.
Super
She draws
artistic.
pretty spot on.
So if I
She's
see
actually
this man, what do
proficient
I
in
do?
calligrapher's tools, so maybe that's
There you go.
Oh, yeah.
Nailed it.
So you should even be adding another proficiency bonus to that too.
very true.
I should have blessed you as well.
Blessed by soul.
Let's just get this one really good picture that we can use going forward. Just
Mhm.
use all of our buffs.
Yeah, I bust
What's
out
it?
like a set of watercolors and I'm like rendering it and shit.
Like Bob Ross.
So she goes like
Like
iRobot, where
Bob
she just draws.
Ross.
She just like up and down, sideways, down the page really quick.
Yeah, if you
So-
see this guy, pay attention to, you know, what he's doing or if he has some kind of schedule.
Is he a friend of yours?
Sure.
Something like that.
Yeah. He just doesn't know it yet.
Should I go say hi and introduce myself?
No, don't do that.
Yes. No, but also no.
Okay. Is there who owns this castle? What, is it a person? A group? What is this?
It's the Valen family, so
A group of people. Yeah,
Yeah,
a group. It's a group.
Okay. So I've got this guy's name, and I've got Silky's name. Getting your names is much like getting water. You don't like to give it to me. What are the rest
none
of
of
your
us
names?
introduced ourselves.
I look
No.
around like getting water. What the fuck is this guy talking about? What?
I
And
apologize.
I kind of whisper to everyone else, like, he's old. He's just losing it. It's fine.
Okay, right. Are we sure
too
we should
have
be entrusting
forgotten
this
this
guy to
one.
go on a solo mission? What if he forgets where he is?
Let's just put name tags on, okay? It'll help him remember.
This will be good for a stealth mission.
Just saunter up to the guard post. Hello, my name
Yeah,
is.
my name is.
Forgets what it is, looks down. Mr. Gloop Squap.
Exactly. Robin Smith.
Inigo Montoya.
John
Inigo
Doe.
Montoya.
Stevie Wonder.
All right. Now, in the
So-
meantime, so Cornelius is gonna. You know what? Here.
Pud is going to introduce himself.
Oh,
to
right, yeah.
Cornelius and say, "My freshly hydrated friend. My name is Pot. Apologies about before," and extend the hand.
I'd shake it.
Just remember,
Thank
you
you
can
for the
always get water
introduction.
from a pot.
Oh my god. Oh
So,
my god.
If I ever need water, this ready fellow right here can provide it.
Yes, from the pot.
Perfect. Thank you.
Well,
Jesus. Lord of God.
Is he from this timeline? I don't recall him.
What?
That
Yes.
Jesus fellow?
No. What?
What?
No.
Different timeline entirely.
Oh my god, Cornelius. I hold on. Can we put some kind of like listening device on him so when when he forgets where he's at, we can go ahead and save him. I'm getting tingles in the back of my neck. Unlike anything I've normally experienced, I'm just fearing this plan is going to go cataclysmically wrong. So early.
What if you send your familiar with him?
a little
Yes.
spider or something.
I say, tell me, Cornelius, do you like spiders?
No, not at all. I like to kill them.
How about cats?
Yeah, you're gonna have to work with me, Cornelius, a little bit here, bud.
I'm more of a dog person, but cats aren't
Well,
too bad.
dogs aren't a choice. It's birds or spider. What do you like?
Is this cat hypoallergenic?
No. Yes. Yeah. You know what? Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Cat's fine.
All right.
All right.
I'm gonna storm off and begin to furiously recast Find Familiar as a ritual. It'll take an. So do we think we'll be more than an hour here, or is he about to go?
I mean, I don't know if we're on like a strict timeline, so I'm sure you can cast it.
Fuck it. I'm not even gonna bother. I'm just going to fucking straight up cast it OG style.
I can just send Miyagi.
Oh, that's excellent. I like to, again, I feel like Silky Johnson would be like would have spurned a spell slot, and as soon as Miyagi appears, like, yeah, I'm already cat, he would be like, damn it. But I'll have already turned Blinky Johnson into Slinky Johnson, for no reason now, and I'll be looking at him and be like, God, I hate cats. Just looking at him like, you stupid familiar.
That's a good question, though. Why can't you have a dog familiar? Like, I could understand, like, you can't have a husky, but a
What
chihuahua?
about, like, Yeah. Or like a
Well, I mean, you can
dachshund,
have a rep familiar. It's basically a chihuahua, right?
pretty much.
Got him.
I mean, a husky looks like a bear, so why not?
I feel like a corgi could be useful in some situations.
Absolutely.
Are there actually dogs in the D&D world, though? I don't think I.
Oh, I'm
think
sure
There's
there
this
are.
dog
There
stuff
must
a lot.
be.
There's wolves, but no, I haven't seen dogs anywhere.
Um, I don't
So-
have my monster manual handy.
So for this stealth mission, I'm just supposed to go case the joint and not be conspicuous. I'm supposed to carry around a cat and what's
No,
the
no,
other thing?
you don't have to carry the cat. The cat's just going along with
Walk.
you in case you get lost.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
In fact,
The
Miyag
cat is
probably
your
bristled a
backup.
little bit when he was like, "I have to carry a cat." And Miyag was like, "Shh."
No.
What is Miyagi? Is that a cat?
Oh my lord.
Miyagi is elf.
You know what? Tell you what, Cornelius, you just go ahead and go on in there and don't even worry about it and
I'm
don't
not-
even
How
worry
is it-
about it.
I'm not
Ew,
going
How
in.
is this section 8 and he's the first one that called my cat Miyagi instead of Miyag? Sorry, go ahead.
Okay.
think-
Yeah,
I think-
just we're,
I
the
think
goal
Cornelius-
is to gain information about the goings on and the security of this castle.
Yes, I've done things like this plenty of times before. I know what to do. You don't have to treat me like a child. I'm an old man. I'm your elder. Treat me as such.
Well, you're acting like a newbie, so
You have to go to a little. Yeah. All right. I'll either be like Miyag. Definitely don't let him get too far away from you. I know you're not my cat, but I feel like it just needs to be said out loud.
Miyag licks a paw and stares at Silky.
I just look at the cat. I'm like, I hate cats so much.
Silky
Yeah,
also
Miyag
licks
can-
his hand.
Miyag can tell.
So I will stand up, give everyone a big salute, walk over to the bar, order a glass of water, or and a glass of milk.
God, he's a serial killer.
And, well, I'm not mixing them. Jeez. So yeah, I'll order. I put the water in my water skin, drink the milk there, and then I saunter out of the bar.
All right.
Out
What
of the
hap-
tavern.
This is a horrible plan.
This is unbelievable.
Don't worry, Miyag will keep an eye on him.
Okay. So what do you do?
So I look at the map that they gave me. I will I'll step into an alley real quick, and the tattoos on my body will kind of have a faint glow to them, and my skin will get the faintest tint of that kind of teal color as I give myself mage armor, and then I use the map and try to locate the castle.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, you from the previous or from your previous escapades throughout town and kind of walking through it, you kind of generalized the area where it's at, so you don't have too much difficulty finding the outer walls of the castle.
Okay. Well, when I get to the castle, I will do as they have asked, and as I've done many times before, and case the joints. Try to, take note of the intervals between guard changes, or, as where they're walking by when they cross, and when they, where their backs are at different points. I keep an eye out for Termo, to see if he's around. All the things that they had told me to do.
Sure. Let's do, I guess, a investigation perception check.
Investigation perception. Okay.
Ooh,
23.
y'all are rolling stellar today.
And
Yeah.
now that you
so-
say that, we're going to start rolling like shit.
Yeah.
Mm.
So you circle the castle a couple of times, and you keep an eye out on anything of import. You definitely get a sense of, I don't know if Cornelius has necessarily been to this town. Probably not, being from Belkip.
Probably
and
not.
some of his other story plots. But he kind of sees that most of the guards, in fact, he doesn't see guards at first. Like, he's kind of confused, but then he realizes that these people walking in robes and whatnot are patrolling, including on top of walls and in front of gates, and even going through the streets sometimes. So you realize that they're probably some kind of, magical type guards. And yeah, so as far as, security, it's definitely on the heavier side, especially once you start seeing or understanding who is responsible for it. They're at every gate, at least 2 of them, and then on walls it pretty intermittently. Doesn't appear to be any pattern to it to you. Just, random back and forth down the wall. As far as seeing Termo, you don't actually see, because you would expect like a convoy almost if somebody important would leave or something. You don't see anything like that. I mean, there's people that come and go, but you don't see Termo.
Okay. Alrighty, and it looks like all the guards are of a magical nature, correct?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. They all seem magically gifted. Okay. So yeah, I will do that for, I guess, maybe an hour and a half, something like that. Do my best not to fall asleep, and then after about an hour and a half or so, I will head back to the tavern. And I'll give Miyag a pet if it lets me.
Miyag rubs up against your shins.
Yeah, he and
What
I
does
become
Miyag
buddies.
look like? Like, what kind of...
He's like an orange tabby.
Aw.
There's I don't know if you no, you probably don't have access to the picture. I don't know if Nite can share that.
Oh, he isn't a token? That's cute.
Well, I just pulled a picture off the internet.
Hmm.
I don't think there's an orange tabby token in Roll20.
So yeah, I head back to the tavern and open the door and look around for the rest of the party. Are they still at that table? Same table?
Yes? What have we
Barin
been
is, at
doing
least.
for 2 hours?
I think I would be like, as soon as Cornelius leaves, I would have been like, who wants to do an over under? I'll bet you. I'll turn to right. I'll bet you 1 gold that he does not come back, or that I'll make it better. I'll bet you 1 gold that in the next 30 minutes we hear alarms going off somewhere in town.
Yeah, I don't know how smart this was, but maybe we can think of this as like a test of his abilities.
Yeah. Or well, yes, of his abilities, but also of how like cognitively like present he is. I just worry, based on the speed of that interaction, that this is not going to go well. But you know what? Who am I? Who am I to judge? After all, I am the greatest wizard who's ever lived, and you wouldn't know it just by looking at me. You would just think that I was an incredibly handsome goblin.
Certainly.
Devarin rolls his eyes and says, "Yes, handsome is the word I would have chosen."
Yes, because it's an accurate assessment of my level of attractiveness. But I nod. I think either I don't pick up on or choose not to hear sarcasm. I think I choose not to hear the sarcasm. I think I am in full-on like anti-sarcasm denial.
Pot puts his hand on Silky's back, like sort of like a pal kind of thing. Like his hand is like, yes, exactly like that fine evening with the vampires. You were very successful in attracting.
Yes,
That's
I
true.
was. We are all here because of that.
Pot nods.
Yes. I have a way with people. Alright. Well, in the meantime, I'm gonna get a drink. Who else wants something? I'm buying. As long as it costs less than 1 gold.
I'll take a pint.
Alright.
I shall too.
Ivarin raises his hand. He raises one hand as if to say, one for me as well, but he doesn't say it. Instead, he's digging in his pack to pull out a book with his other hand.
Nice. I will go to the bar and ask for, I'll be like, barkeep. Or what? I'm sorry, that's rude of me. What's your name, good sir or madam?
Oh, my name is Furo.
Furo, it's nice to meet you. I am Silky Johnson, world's greatest mage, archmage extraordinaire, keeper of the flame. Yeah, you've probably heard of me. Anyway, you don't need the introduction. Anyway, I would like, and I count, 3 of your most non-gold costing beers.
You surely do know how to present yourself, friend.
I smile and I like rolling my single gold coin over my knuckles. I say, if you top them off extra high, there's an extra fraction of gold in it for you.
Okay, at this point, just to interrupt real quick, sorry. Ivarin tries to catch the Furo's eye and lifts up his purse and jangles it a little bit to be like, don't worry about him, we've got money.
He kind of glances past your shoulder for a second and back at you and says, okay, friend, what's your poison? Beer, ale, mead, cider?
I would like 3 glasses of mead and 1 full-sized glass of whatever your strongest alcohol is. And I don't suppose you have sugar.
Yes, we have sugar.
Could you just add as much of it as you think would dissolve into solution to the booze? I would like to disguise the flavor of that liquor as much as possible.
Oh my god.
My god.
He says, you said ale, right?
Yes. Technically, I said mead, but
sorry, mead. Yeah. Yeah. All right. So three pints of mead, and I guess something more strong for you.
Yes,
I'm guessing?
strong or bad. I think it's equivalent.
Okay. All right. That will
whatever's
be,
closer to hand, sir.
That will be a total of 21 silver, friend.
I slide the coin down the table and I say, "Keep the change." Wait, hold on. 21 silver. That's not how that works. Is it 5 to 1? What's the? I forget how math works.
10.
What's
10. So
10?
2 gold and 1 silver. Yeah.
Fuck me. I hold on. Please hold. I have nothing of value. I probably should not give away the fan feather token. That seems like an important thing to keep on our pod. I would like to, from my backpack, say, how would you feel about a barter?
Ivarin's cracking up in the corner because
Just drinks.
yeah, Ivarin's cracking up in the corner because
I have in my
knows we
pocket.
have money and is just fucking with Silky at this point.
I have in my backpack perhaps the greatest thing that anyone from this place, and I lean in close and
Friend,
smile.
I've been doing this
time.
for a long time. There's nothing more wonderful than gold.
And I would like to place on the bar the jar containing Smiley the Brain and say, "Oh no!"
Oh my god.
Everybody at the bar just looks at you and scoots away a little bit from you.
Is Smiley does he look the same in there? Or is he
I think
starting to
Smiley's
get,
been dead for a
mushy?
while. Did he just decay
He's
like a
still
while?
he's still like a dead fish floating on the top of the water, just like
Is the
Yeah.
brain upside down,
Yeah.
floating belly up?
Yes.
Stand
And
up.
I would like to give it a subtle shake and be like, "It's sleeping."
Put that away. What are you doing?
He's pining for the fjords.
fighting for the beer.
You're gonna get thrown out.
All right. Well,
I'm
maybe we don't
so
need all of
tempted.
those. Well, maybe we don't need all of those drinks. How much is just 2 of the drinks and the sugar liquor?
Sugar.
Basically, I want the sugar liquor. How much is that?
Wait, just the liquor?
Yep.
7 silver.
All right, keep the change. And I would like to put the gold piece down and take Smiley back and say, by the way, you missed out on a real deal here. And I'm gonna walk over with the single cup of what
Friend,
was the
I
liquor
already
after all?
put the sugar in these meads.
No, just as I walk away, I said, you were supposed to put the sugar just in the liquor.
No, you told me to put it in everything.
No, I said just disguise the flavor of the liquor. I want to taste the mead. I'm like walking over the table. I'm like, why would you
need
sugar?
to pay for these?
Why would you sugar? No, I'm like standing on a chair. I'm like, why would you put sugar in mead? It's honey based, you fool.
Well, why
And-
would you put sugar in any liquor?
And I'd say, what are you talking about? And I would like to put the liquor cup down in front of Ivar and be like, they were out of beer. And just be like, but we got a drink for you.
As he does, you see the barkeep just like stumbling over or around the bar and following Silky towards your table angrily.
Drink up, Ivar.
Oh my god.
I got the best.
You
I
need
got
to
the
pay
best
for
alcohol
for this meads.
I will not pay for mead that you ruined.
When he gets here, I will pay him.
15 silver.
Yes, I give him 15 silver.
All
And
right.
get like my change back, please.
Well, your sugary meads are in the bar if you want them. And he walks away.
This motherfucker.
And at this point, Cornelius walks back in.
Yeah, before I walk
Oh,
in,
Silky.
That took 2 hours.
Excellent.
Silky, where the hell is my beer?
They were out of beer. They just had this. The man assured me it was of highest quality. I figured you're a man of classy taste. Classy taste. And so this is Barovian honey
Silky?
wine.
Silky,
Yes.
shut up.
Don't you,
Ivarin gets up and walks.
Don't you want your honey
Ivarin
wine?
gets up and walks to the bar and nods to Cornelius as they pass.
Ivarin, you forgot your honey wine. Ivarin,
Just give me a goddamn beer.
I'll
I'll
take a
keep it over
non-
here for you then, shall
Sugared
I?
or non-sugared?
non-sugar.
Non.
All right, that'll be 5 silver.
And I pay up.
right
And I leave a silver for the tip.
before I walk in, I cast a minor illusion just on like this side of my torso to look like a big slash wound. And I walk in and go, "Oh, the pain! They got me! What am I get to do? Who will help an old man?"
I'd like to
What
look.
the fuck?
I'd like to, if the camera pans over, I'd like to be just like thoughtfully sipping the sugar whiskey, the sugar wine, and just being like, "Oh,
Sips his drink just
Oh
that
my
little
God.
bit longer.
oh God, this is not sugar wine."
And then I'm just like, "Oh, it's okay, I got you. It was just a joke. I'm good. Don't worry. Everything's taken care of. Me and Mia are good friends now."
Yeah,
like-
Carry then.
In the
Miag
process of
watched him cast that spell, so Ivarin didn't respond to this at all. Ivarin knew it was just
Pop was in the process of standing up to cast lay on like to go over and cast lay on hands, and like as Cornelius is saying, "Haha, got you, it's just a joke," Pot doesn't say anything, continues that whole process, and immediately just like starts sitting back down again, not saying a word, and continues
Nailed it.
drinking.
Anyways, so I walked around, saw the castle, saw a bunch of magic-y folks walking around in robes. They didn't have normal-looking guards. Let's see. They didn't seem to follow any kind of pattern as far as their walks. They I didn't see that handsome looking guy in the picture, that Termo guy. You did a good job with that picture, I think. I did not see him though. Let's see. I think that's what you all asked me to look for, I believe. I'm thirsty. Can I have some water? Go and get a glass of water.
Have some mead if you want.
Yeah.
That's
Love
a
it, but
good mead.
the liver doesn't, handle it quite as good these days.
Okay. Well, it seems like not really much has changed in the past versus the past that wasn't quite so past.
So yeah, about the same setup.
Yeah. I'm wondering if I don't know if this would even work, but we can just take a fully different approach, and try to just get an audience, with him. I don't know how impossible that would be, but I don't know if, do we know much about, the Valen estate, if they, do business dealings with certain people or something like that we could try to, pose as, a group of, I don't know.
Like
Just
traders
some
or
way-
something. Or...
Yeah, or something some way that we could convince them peacefully to just let us in and have a conversation, instead of trying to break our way in. I know that this estate is pretty reclusive, but they must have some dealings with people outside.
Ivarin can probably make another history or knowledge check.
I mean, it's got to be easier than vampires, right?
Famous last words.
See, what did I tell you? You cursed our rolls, Nite.
You don't know much, but you would guess that to meet with somebody from a royal, quote-unquote, family would probably require you to be known by them. Probably, traders don't meet directly with them. That's just your guess because, I mean, it's a big-ass city.
Is there anything we know about Termo specifically, some piece of information that I don't know, we could use as leverage to try to negotiate a meeting with him? Not
just
blackmail, but
I think just what you've known before from your previous time here. I don't know if you've asked. I don't remember if you guys asked around much about him or not.
I don't think we did.
Well, we know. I mean, I don't know if I'm remembering this incorrectly, but we know that he's kind of an embarrassment to their family, right? He's not very popular in the Valen clan. So, do we know exactly why that is, or is it just because he's not very magically gifted?
I don't know if you guys ever figured that part out.
So,
well, I guess we could just try to get some more information on him specifically.
sorry, just for the viewers' sake, so that they're kept up to date with what's going on, could you remind all of us why this is out of character, by the way, why definitely for the viewers and not for myself, why we're specifically going to why we needed to chat with Termo in particular, other than what happened, with the whole dragon changing thing, and he knew us from the past, we'd already met him before. I can't remember exactly why we're specifically talking to Termo.
Well, I mean, As a
Like what we-
DM, I can only say that he mentioned this time and meeting you here.
Okay, and that's
So,
kind of what we're going off, yeah, because
in terms of, I guess, mechanics of time, not necessarily going what you guys as a party are trying to do, because that's up to you guys. In terms of mechanics of time, you're guessing you have to complete the cycle essentially, or else, you know, your interaction with Turmo in the future probably won't be the same, and that, as you have experienced before, would cause problems.
Right. Okay. That reminds me. Yeah, that we didn't really have that much option. I think when we were back at the pyramid and we were trying to decide on where to actually go, we were just like, well, we don't really know much. Let's go have a chat with Turmo and see if he knows anything more. Okay. Because I was just thinking about that, on whether we actually need to interact with Turmo or whether we're fine to just observe Turmo. Like, we don't need to get to him, but maybe we can hear rumors or
Plus,
get
he
people
mentioned the infinite during your interaction before he died.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I mean, he knows, like, it was cryptic, but he knew more information than we knew. But we don't know, like, at all how he's, like, accessing that information or anything.
And how it's connected to the plague and all that kind of stuff. And okay, cool. Thank you. You're welcome, viewers. Anyway, as we were brainstorming, so whether we try and find, well, you've just confirmed that we can't. There's no like trade route or merchant kind of route into getting access to Turmo, because they don't do it directly.
Because, I mean, just based on your understanding, like, big kingdoms, kings, you know, queens, they don't see over that mundane stuff unless it's something super special and they know who they're dealing with, you know.
I guess. Go ahead.
Two polite people. So does the castle does everything look the same as it was? Like, is that big tower there and everything, like?
Well, it's not in ruins, but yes.
Yeah. Okay.
So just see, I think summarizing that we still need to find a way to get to Turmo, right? At the end of all this.
Yes.
And do we actually know where he is specifically?
I think that's what we're trying to find out right now.
Our assumption is that he's, like, in the compound, but we don't know where.
But the compound is like the compound is like a family compound. It's not like military. It's not.
I think it's like a family castle.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So
again, it seems to be heavily guarded, but it's not like a military base or anything.
Right. But I think someone said earlier, they're like, is there any reason we couldn't just go in? Like, hello, we're here to see Turmo. And
that's sort of what I was thinking, but it seems like, I mean, Dimitri, tell me if I'm wrong, but it seems like they are reclusive and they will not, like, accept a audience with people unless they have, like, a really good reason to.
Does the Valen family have a specific trade, or, like, what do they do? What's their role in this town? Could we leverage that? Like, if they're tradesmen and they sell cheese, like, oh, we've got some Parmesan for you, or something like that. But, like, or not that, but, like, similar.
Mm-hmm. I mean, if I'm remembering correctly, they're pretty powerful, like, mages.
Yeah, it was like a mage guild or something, right? Or
yeah,
something.
like
the original founders of the Purple Vanguard, but over the years, as the area and this whole thing developed into an actual kingdom, they became the rulers of the meritocracy of Valen, or megocracy of Valen. Sorry.
Could we dummy up something that would catch their interest? Like, I am able to
as, like, powerful magicians or something.
Well, or I mean, even like I am a bit of a forger myself, and so, like, it would be very simple for, like, myself and Avarin to, like, me up a impressive looking like arcane scroll or something that would catch their interest. If they are mages of a high order, like I know of no wizard who would turn down the opportunity to learn new lore.
Mm-hmm.
And again, and it's kind of a victimless crime. Like we could just like write something interesting looking, and at the end of the day, once they translate it, it's like, they just be like, this has no magical power to it. Fine, and then it's just kind of like no harm, no foul. But we still get in that way.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think we should try to.
We don't fight in. I think that's the wrong way to do this. Especially if they're as powerful as it sounds like. Like I don't want to make. If we ever have to come back here, it seems like it'd be a bad idea to start off by making enemies of what appears to be like one of the ruling families.
I mean, just from like what happened the last time we tried to break in, that did not go very smoothly, so I don't think it's gonna go well this time either.
Yeah. As a third option, do we think that name dropping the what are they called? The infinite.
Infinite?
Do you think that there is any possibility that the Valen family is already aware of these guys, and just simply name dropping them would be
possibly
enough to get us in?
It's possible. I'm not sure.
Or as a fourth option, we could maybe do both plans, where like we dummy up a scroll and we go in saying like, hey, we found this thing, it looks like interesting, and all we could make out was something mentioning the infinite, and just see if again just spitballing here, but I think we might be better served figuring out a way in peacefully.
But
I agree.
If these people are as powerful as you say they are, do you really think it's a good idea to try to deceive them with some fake scroll?
Well, I don't think it's deceit. I mean, I think operationally, deceit is a very vague word that implies that we're trying to do something perhaps untoward. We just want to talk to Termo. I think, we certainly have information to share with them, so if the relationship proceeds, one would certainly be able to make the case that they will ultimately get some information and therefore knowledge from the exchange, if not necessarily in the shape of the initial scroll per se, as it were. so forth.
There's one small issue, I think,
yes,
that we haven't discussed just yet. And that small issue is what happened last time we were here. We're going to how do we address? I mean, what happened with me, and how do we address that with Termo? We haven't really spoken much about this.
Well, this would have been before. We're here before we ever met Termo last time, right?
Yes.
Yes.
So all of that, Termo's never met any of us before. Or
this
right?
version of
So.
Termo.
Yeah, exactly. So I think to use a term from my homeland, Pot, I think you may be Gucci.
If any race in Maros actually uses that word, it would be the goblins.
Yep.
Okay, then if I understand the phrase, if I understand the phrase, then we'll be all fine, or I'll be fine. So you're suggesting that we just don't discuss that? I
think we play it down. If we're before the time period where he would know about it, I think it's a non-issue. I think. Do you guys agree?
I don't know. What is it?
I kind of feel like, I mean, we should probably hone in on this at some point.
Agreed. But is it germane to this specific proposed interaction?
I think if we don't bring it up and don't talk about it, I agree with the Gucci-ness.
Yes.
That he may inquire as to why. Well, he will inquire as to why we want to talk with him, and we have to explain to him. I'm just trying to think of maybe we want to have a plan on what we're actually going to explain to him, so that he doesn't trap us in a giant crystal and try and do naughty.
No,
Aren't we jumping the gun a little bit here? We don't even know where he is yet.
Yeah, I think. Again, Pot. I think we have already probably reached the apex of our planning ability. I don't know if you've been following along so far, but we're very much seat of the pants type planners. Asking us to make a plan for after our plan, I feel like that seems crazy.
My little risk-adverse nodules are sort of like on end.
Nodules. My risk lymph nodes are starting to swell and engorge. They detect risk.
I have engorged risk nodes.
Oh shit! I didn't know you guys could do that.
It's a trait.
It's horrifying.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Like
well,
that?
Only when things are really risky. So, okay. Well, I mean, as long as we're all aware, most of us are aware that is a thing, and yeah, sure. Let's meet the man and find out where it goes.
In Shen to Raida, what is he talking about?
Do I want to share this information? Don't worry about it. It'll probably never come up again.
Probably.
Yeah. Not important.
So, to meet the man. So we've got the options that we're discussing here, or that we're weighing up, is whether we use some form of deception, whether it be with the scroll, or whether it is breaking and entering and finding Termo. We've eliminated the possibility, or I guess the possibility of going through the merchant route. So the best plan we've got at the moment, I guess, is the scroll, but we're cautious in the sense that we don't want to start off on the wrong foot if they are to uncover that we have deceived them.
Yeah, I mean, I think, honestly, I'm sort of, maybe this is just me, I'm like less concerned that they might figure out in the future that we were deceptive, but because of how reclusive they are, I'm concerned that we need like a really good reason to be showing up, or else they're going to turn us away.
Can I put clarification and also give an idea?
Yes.
So these people are. You need to see them. Why?
Well,
Basically,
Cornelius.
we came here previously, but it was
And
actually in the future. And
It's a bit confusing. Okay. I
yeah,
follow so
you gotta
far.
just go with it, kind of.
Uh-huh.
And that meeting didn't go super well, unfortunately, which was definitely not our fault. But we discovered that it seemed we'd actually already met Termo in the past, and he seemed to have information that we wanted. So we came back to the past to try to meet with him for the first time for him, but the second time for us.
I'm nodding along as she says this. I'm like, are you catching this, Cornelius? Are you following?
To get this information that we don't know what the information is, really, but we want it anyways.
So, okay, I think I'm understanding. That was the clarification part. The idea part. I'm an idea guy, if you can't tell. So, the idea part. he is a magic person, right? He's knowledgeable, wizardy type folk. Yes. Now, what do those smart, snooty, wizardy type people like more than anything else? That's right.
Mead.
Knowledge.
Oh.
If there's something they don't know, they will do whatever they can to know that, correct? So, hear me out. What if you go with more of a Operation Honest lad and say, okay, well, we're actually here to talk to you because we talked to you in a different timeline. Sounds crazy, right? But you want to know more. Just an idea.
That might
honestly
work.
could just work. I mean, we've been trying to avoid telling people that we're time travelers, although also we've been really failing at avoiding that. So maybe we
But wait
should
a
just
minute.
throw it to the wind.
But wait a minute. The last time we encountered Termo, did
I think he did sort of know more than we thought he was going to know.
but did he seem to know that we were time travelers?
He knew you from forever ago, from decades ago, and you look just as young as you did when
Yeah,
he
I think
first
maybe
met
he
you.
did.
Now, I'm not the smartest cookie in the jar, but I think even I can wrap my head around that one.
As much as it pains me to say this, if there was something that I didn't know, which there isn't, because of the aforementioned archmaginess. But yes, I certainly would be intrigued if someone showed up and said they knew me from the past. I would, however, want them to prove it, because any crazy person could say that. And it wouldn't let me. If every person who came to my house and said I'm from your future, and wanted to come in, if I let them all in, I would have no room in my home. So how do you propose, Cornelius, that we go about proving this?
The whole time that you're explaining that, Cornelius is reciprocating that sly smile, knowing that he's won in a battle of wits. And then when you ask him that question, I don't know. You're the ones from the future, past, future. What do you have that would prove that you're from another time?
So, out of character, what do we know about the Infinite? Do we literally know nothing other than?
We've heard their name. We
we
know they're
don't
like,
know anything.
yeah, they're like the Illuminati behind all this. But I think we just have the name.
Okay.
Unfortunately.
I mean, all
What?
we know is like Termo's connection to the plague, and we don't really even know what that is. But he mentioned the Infinite, and that's like the best lead we have, which is not much of a lead, but we are assuming that it's all connected somehow.
Okay, then Pot will suggest perhaps we mention the Infinite as the hook to get the information.
You have different clothing in the future, something that seems outlandish, or you have any parchment that's dated or notarized? I don't know.
I do indeed have common clothes from the future.
Which just look like ratty clothes.
Exactly.
I don't know that we have anything, because the unfortunately, Cornelius, technology has kind of stagnated after the plague that caused us to do all this in the first place. So,
well, I have a question.
Yeah.
Did we get any gold from the first time we met Termo? Like when we were around there, did we pick up any gold? Like maybe we have some gold pieces that were minted in the future?
Don't know if we did.
I've got a fair number of gold pieces, and I'm sure some of them were minted in the future from this date.
Okay, so we could just give him like a penny that says like 50 years in the future. He'll definitely believe that.
Is money dated by the mint in this world?
Good question.
If you look at one, yes. Some of them have dates.
Some of them. Okay, can I find one in my pouch that has a date that's in the future?
On this table and start sorting through it.
There are actually quite a bit that you have that are in the future.
Great.
Mine must be like super precious. They're antiques. A couple 100 years old.
Look at my driver's license, Doc. I was born 1965.
Yeah, other
I'm
than
not
that,
even
I
born
don't.
yet. Okay,
Not
well,
even born yet.
here's an
Looking
idea.
at my inventory, I don't think I have anything that would like prove time travel in any way.
I have an idea.
Mhm.
Okay, so we know what their operatives look like, right? So here's what we do. We find a messenger. We dress him up in similar robes to the ones that are, the guards wear, right? And we give him a message with instructions to deliver only into the hands of Termo Valen. And inside is a note from us and one of these gold pieces. And we'll draw attention to the date on the gold piece. And it might just be enough to get him intrigued.
Like a letter that's like supposed to be us from the future, or just a letter like, hey, look at this gold piece.
Well, that's the part I haven't figured out yet, is what we do next. And what the letter says. But it's a way to get a message to him at least. Maybe we can ask him to meet somewhere on our turf so that we're safe. And then we can have a discussion.
Would be preferable. I'm also wondering if, because earlier I was trying to think of if there was a way that we could use sort of his status as the family disappointment to our advantage, sort of play into the idea oh, we can help you out, we know crazy magic shit that we can teach you, and your dad will totally respect you now, or something like that, since we know that he's
We promise your father will respect you now. Now!
Yeah. Well,
Hashtag daddy issues.
yeah,
Exactly.
I don't know if that would be helpful.
Cold-blooded shit, Cooper.
But if we
Well,
could
that's an
somehow
idea for the
play
note.
to play to his sort of I don't know, insecurities. That's kind of mean, but
Isn't it the
Yes!
the suggestion that we've met him in the future would be on the note, and then the coin would be the proof that we've been to the future?
or we could just not lie. We could just say, hey, we met you in the future when you were the head of the Valen clan, and you told us to come back and meet you in the past in this year, which is not really a lie. We don't have to mention that he was trying to kill us, but
Well,
I
we
don't
can
know.
be
And
fairly
you
assured.
definitely did not try to kill us.
We can be fairly assured that whatever happens at this meeting, by the end of it, he's probably going to want to kill us.
Probably, but
Oh. I mean, maybe.
Seeing as the next time we meet him, he wants to kill us, it's a good bet.
No. I mean, maybe. I mean, time is hard. Who can say for certain?
But yeah, I don't know if we can. I mean, that wouldn't even be really lying. We could just sort of say that he sent us to himself in the past from the future. I don't know how easily he'll buy that, but
Well, what if
Think.
we're thinking about Termo in the wrong way? What if Termo is not bad as we might perceive him based on our last interaction? What if we do something now that causes him to have fear going into the future, thus what happened to us in the future occurs? So
Yeah.
maybe if we take the approach that maybe we're looking at him as being hostile already, but perhaps he's not actually hostile, so just being...
He doesn't know us yet. Why would he?
Yeah.
Exactly.
yeah,
But even
But he
to
might
the
be
information.
suspicious.
Yeah. So I think... Yeah, I mean, it's just probably not that helpful with my average brain.
no, I mean, but yeah, maybe we could frame it when we're introducing ourselves, we could frame it as if in the future when we know each other, we are on good terms, or something. Like, we don't have to mention that.
Well, perhaps we could also take the angle that we're not trying to fight Termo. We're not like we want to work with Termo. Perhaps Termo doesn't want the plague to happen as well, and we're trying to figure this out together. Maybe we don't necessarily need to butt heads with him. And yeah. So, how do we all feel about getting a letter addressed to Termo, or at least some way of getting that information to Termo that we tell him we've met him in the future?
A really good idea. I think that's probably the best idea we've had so far, and the one I think specifically least likely to cause us to all fucking die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure, let's do that. I definitely think we should avoid confrontation if we can.
So the plan was to find a messenger and dress them up, find some clothes that makes them look like the guards, was it? And then send them in?
Yeah, so that they're like, oh, this is one of our messengers, and then he's here to give something to Termo. And they let him in.
I'm sure messengers arrive from all around the city. It doesn't just have to be their own, right? If instead of having to go in with deceit, can we not just hire any messenger to deliver a letter to the estate?
Yeah, that's probably true. I mean, if they're like in charge of this whole area, I'm sure they get like people bringing messages all the time.
I agree with Mr. Neely.
I'll saunter over to the bar and ask the bartender, like, if there's a, like a pages stand, or I don't know how things work in this world exactly, but like, yeah, people got to send messages. So how do I find a messenger?
A message to where?
To a castle.
You mean the Valen Castle?
Could be.
It's asking a lot of questions.
Normally, when you send a letter, it's by bird, but I mean to the Valen Castle, it's usually hand delivered.
Yeah, and who would do that hand delivery? I need to hire a messenger.
You probably.
I mean, could we just deliver it ourselves?
You probably need to speak to one of the guards to get it specifically to them. Probably, it's more difficult. Maybe one of his or one of their personal guards. I don't know.
All right. Well, let's get the letter written, I guess, and then we'll figure out how to get it over there, huh?
I guess we could also, I mean, I don't know if this is a terrible idea, but we could have one of the familiars, like, take the letter into the castle and try to get it just directly to him.
Could be difficult without knowing.
Yeah, that's
where
true.
Ryan is. He could be on holiday at the moment.
That's true.
At the beach. What if one of our mage friends were to approach the guard, saying that they want to discuss, or that there's a letter for Valen to discuss magey stuff, wizardry things. It might be innocuous enough that the guards might not, ask too many questions. They just think, yeah, whatever, mage stuff. It's above our pay grade.
Guards are mages, aren't they?
Are they?
Oh, I guess they are like magical guards. I mean, why don't we just take the letter, see if we can figure out a way to have someone take it to Termo. If they refuse, then we'll have to come up with a different plan. But maybe they'll be like, oh, sure, I'll do that. Like, maybe they'll be nice and just do it.
I think we should be prepared that we get questioned on what's in the letter and why we want to speak to Turbo in particular.
Yeah.
Unless,
Although again,
suspicions
like
do
they
that.
must be getting letters like all the time, right? This can't be that out of the ordinary, right?
True.
All right. I'll take it to the gate. We'll see what happens.
What time is it? We've already slept, right? I think the end of last session
No,
was
I
it,
think
or
it's
is
the
it
same
evening?
night of the shopping.
Mhm.
Probably
Yeah,
late
'cause I-
at night by now.
I hadn't reset my spell slots or anything, so we haven't rested, I don't think.
No, you haven't taken a long rest.
Because
while you were
we'd
here
bought
yet.
the rooms, I think, and then we were like, that's kind of where it left off, I think.
You bought the
remember.
rooms and then you did shopping and then
Yeah.
it's now evening.
All right.
time.
Well, yeah. Let's sleep on it, and first thing in the morning, I'll go and try and deliver the letter. All in agreement?
Yeah.
Agree.
All right. Well, go ahead and take that long rest then.
All right. Yeah, you guys go up to your rooms and take a long rest, undisturbed, and regain your health and spell slots if you lost any. And in the morning, Ivarin, you said you wanted to go up to the gate?
Yep, I've got the letter that we wrote, basically just laying it out like, well, hold on, let's just all decide, make sure we know what's in it. So it says, we have information from you for the future. Enclosed is a gold piece that was minted in the future to prove our claim. And then what are we asking him to do for us?
Basically, just I think
Amazing.
if we can have an audience to speak with him.
And requesting an audience.
Yeah.
Okay.
Perhaps best outside of the castle grounds. Or do you think that might make him too suspicious?
I think if
it'll
we
make you suspicious.
Yeah, that might be kind of.
All right. Well, I'll just, if I manage to get to him, I'll just say, like we request your reply. When can we meet?
We're staying at such and such. I don't know how he gets the
He
message.
can come
right?
meet us at the inn.
Yeah, I suppose we could put the name of the inn in there so that, if he's not able to respond right away, then he can send a response to us. I think that makes sense. All right. So I will put on my best dress robes and approach the castle gates with the message rolled up in a scroll in front of me. And well, I guess it's an envelope, right? Because it's got to have the coin in it. But yeah, I'll go ahead and approach.
Okay. One of the robed guards stops you.
I give him a respectful bow. And I say, good day, sir. I come bearing a message for Monsieur Termovalent.
You again? Didn't you come last week trying to get into the Royal Library?
Oh, you must have me mistaken with someone else. I have only just arrived in town.
Yeah, the other guy was younger. What do you want? Why would you have to go through appropriate channels here for this letter? Why can't just be handing it off to us?
You must forgive me, good sir. I come from afar, and our customs are very different from yours.
I see. Who is this letter for again?
Monsieur Termovalent.
And how badly do you want to get it over to him?
It is of the utmost importance.
How important?
The utmost.
Yes, but how important? And he kind of rubs his fingers together.
All right, I'll pull out a couple of gold pieces and flip them over.
All right. He snatches the letter. Now go away.
Sir, I was given instructions to deliver this only into the hands of Monsieur Termovalin himself.
No, that's definitely not possible.
Well, in that case, I should like my bride back.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Of course you don't. Very well, sir. But you do not know how powerful an enemy you have just made. And I turn around and go back to the inn and report back.
So,
Smooth talking.
the letter's not going to make it to Turbo.
It might. I don't know.
Well, it was worth a try. It only cost us 3 gold, and who knows? Maybe it will actually get through to him.
Perhaps.
He seemed to recognize you.
At first, yes.
No.
But then he seemed to realize his mistake.
Was this something you did the last time? Approach the castle?
I don't think
read books.
so.
Well, the last time was
Well, it
in
was
the
also
future.
in the future, yeah.
So,
Have you
unless
ever
someone is
been here before?
impersonating me. Yes.
Like in your youth, maybe?
Yes.
What?
What a twist.
Yes, I studied here at this time, and I forgot that I had attempted to gain access to their library, but it's okay because it was so long ago. I've aged considerably since then.
Okay.
You didn't think that
And
was important to mention?
I did mention it
We've been
the
talking
first
about this
time
for...
we were here.
Oh. Whoops.
That was like 5 days ago. Such a long
that's
time.
1,000 years ago.
Into the future.
Yeah, it was both the
Time.
past and in the future.
Our brains age much slower than our bodies, if that makes sense. The speaking side of us takes months, whereas the body only takes a day. Reference to 2 months gap in between session.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think there's a chance he might still get the letter. I don't know how long we want to wait around to find out about that, though.
We could give it a couple of days.
Yeah.
I don't know if we've got anything we really need to do. Just wander around and.
If there's anything we can do, we burned all of
We
our
have
money.
no
right?
money.
So we
We have some.
yes, but
Don't worry, I was here to keep a reserve. Well, you are all out recklessly spending.
It was fun though.
yeah, big fan.
Oh, I was involved in it too, so yeah.
Do we want to see if we can find a separate side quest that would take a day or two?
Maybe.
I mean, that sounds quite Gucci, and I
Like,
look
is there
at Silky and like raise my eyebrows.
I should turn it, and I say, your goblet is coming along really well. So is there like a town message board where they would post like small jobs?
Not like a message board, no.
Or like a board where things are stuck to that like come slay this nest of babies. I don't know, whatever.
Babies.
No, there aren't really message boards in this town or bar. You
Okay.
figure it's more
Well,
like
good, because if this town was infested with demonic babies, that'd be pretty awful.
That would be bad.
sounds like a good idea for a campaign though.
Is there like, do we know sort of what this region is like, famous for? If it's like, I don't know if there's like a library somewhere or.
It's definitely known for Solitude, which is kind of the bastion city here. Known for the Amber Academy, which is a big school of mages, and the Purple Vanguard. So
Well,
my
maybe
younger
there's
counterpart
other
is.
places to try to gather information around here. If they have like a public, I don't know, library or something.
yeah, they definitely have a public library. There's a library in the castle. There's also a library in the Amber Academy.
Just for the record here, I cannot go to any of those at the risk of running into my younger counterpart.
I guess that's true.
So
man.
unfortunately,
Oh, man,
your best
I
researcher
volunteer.
will not be able.
I would like to volunteer for this mission. And Avarin, what did you look the same back then? Just as a completely unrelated. Like I'd recognize you.
Yes, probably. I mean,
excellent.
elves,
Yes, I
elves
volunteer.
age, but
I volunteer. If we go to a library, I would like to be the person who goes in and does the reading. I'm very good at reading. I've read a lot in my day. You said the Amber Academy?
Yes.
We go there? That sounds interesting. We could do some reading in the meantime.
Yeah. I don't know how successful this will be, but maybe we can try looking into time magic or like any of the stuff we've been trying to find information about.
Yeah, like trying to figure out information about the infinite.
Yeah.
Or like, yeah, no, I think
we're just trying to understand like better history of this region, like
Yeah.
information about the Valen clan, like anything that might be useful.
it also strikes me that like there's no way that like something as world changing as the plague like completely came out of nowhere. Someone must have been doing some work somewhere. Like I bet you there were warning signs before it actually happened.
Mhm.
And we're in 2551 and the plague broke out in 2602. So we're 51 years away.
Yeah. I think.
Yes.
So we're basically like a generation removed from this
Mhm.
plague, more or less. Yeah, like there must be some information that would give some clues as to how this went down.
Mhm. I'd also sort of, as an aside, be interested in looking into like dragonborn stuff. And maybe this symbol that seems to have some connection to pot. I don't know if we can find that at the library, but I'd be interested to look.
Okay, so who's going to the library? You guys are going to the Amber Academy library?
Yeah.
So.
Ivarin's going to stay back at the inn, just in case a message comes from Termo.
Oh, yeah, good call.
Yes.
And also because he cannot go to the library.
Yeah.
Everybody
As
else
much
going?
as he would like to.
I think so, unless anybody
I
wants
am
to
not
stay.
going. I am not going to the library.
Oh my god, Jesus Christ. Are there DM, are there like stocks or bonds or any kind of like time-based investments in this world?
There is a sports almanac you can buy.
Yes!
Oh my god.
You knew it was only a matter of time, you piece of shit. Oh my god, how can I make this happen? Oh my god. Alright, sorry, I'm gonna be very quiet for a while while I furiously try and figure out
What good would a sports
explode.
almanac from the past do?
Hold on. No. Hold on.
Just go farther into the past to use it.
Think about this.
I think learning more about myself, we might have more luck at the what was it in the mountains?
The mountains?
Like the heart of the dragon in the mountains.
Mm-hmm.
You
Well, and
know.
it seems like Termo is somehow sort of connected or involved because he was the one that had the symbol, right?
Yeah.
So there's something going on that's also connected to him.
Mm.
I don't know if that's directly connected to the plague as well or not, but it seems like he's involved somehow, so it might be beneficial. I mean, obviously for you, but also for speaking with him to get some more information if we can find it.
Mm. As long as I don't see that
Yeah.
that thing again.
I mean, that's why I volunteered to sort of look into that, since I don't know if it's safe for you to do that. I don't want you to blow up a library.
Maybe I shouldn't go to the library. Maybe I should stay back as well.
I'm not gonna go to the library. I'm gonna set up I'm just gonna go out to one of the streets, and you know how street performers will set up a little area and have a hat for tips and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I basically want to set up a little makeshift tattoo stand. Get out my tattoo supplies and start doing tattoos for people. And while people are doing that, I also my goal here is twofold. I want to try to make a little bit of money from tips for tattoos, but I also want to I want to see if there's anybody that I can clock that that has any symbols of the fist or anything like that as well. I want to see if there's any connections I can make like that.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and roll a performance check. And I guess performance charisma. Do that.
Can I roll
and
a
then...
painter supplies check?
A what?
Painter supplies proficiency?
Yeah, you could do that with charisma. Because I feel like you're trying to persuade people to come over, not just
okay.
Draw
That's
stuff.
Charisma. Got it. 15.
Okay. Yeah, you definitely get a few people over during the time they're gone, which is probably a few hours. Hang on one second. I don't know why I keep putting my dice away. You make about 3 gold from doing this for a couple of hours. And
Perfect.
But you do not see anybody with a fist tattoo or fist symbols or anything like that.
Okay. Sounds good.
All right. And so it sounds like Pot and Ivarin are staying at the inn, and then Raida and Silky are going to the library, right?
Mm-hmm. I think so.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, you guys probably got directions from Ivarin, and you managed to find the Amber Academy, not with great difficulty. As you walk up, you see almost like its own palace of sorts, except the walls are obviously much thinner and a little shorter, and embroidered in this intermittent brick that kind of glow in this faint amberish glow. And as you walk in, you see a big garden area and several buildings that you imagine to be, classrooms and whatnot. And at the center, you see a great big library that Ivarin has described, also in embroidered. It almost appears like gold at first, but knowing the name and inspecting it a little closer, maybe definitely amber. And as you walk in, it's on the outside the brick is more white like the rest of the city. But once you come in, definitely more of a library, darker theme with this faint orangish light
Cool.
descending down on the floor, several floors actually, and you see kind of several landings as there's I don't know what the word for it is, but essentially like a central ladder arranged in a square that goes up to floors, and you can see all the way up and kind of the edges of the bookshelves and stuff.
Fucking dope.
I want to live here.
Yeah. Is there? Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, are there like people working here that we can like help direct us?
Exactly.
Yeah, there's definitely what appear to be librarians dressed in a similar themed clothing or robes rather.
Cool. What should we? Do you want to start with some time magic stuff, or do you want to start with dragon stuff? What do you think? Or I guess we could split up if you wanted to tackle things separately. But
I think let's first of all find someone who can help us, who can direct us to books that we need. And I think like first and foremost, we're here to try and stop the plague. I think asking questions about demonic research and time magic probably makes the most sense. Like who are the most active demonic groups, like demonic worshipping groups? Are there any cutting edge? Like who are the most? Actually, now that I think about it, like a list of the most active, like arcanists and scientists of the age would probably lead us towards those who would be most likely to create a pandemic, like an awful, like world-ending plague. Because it's not gonna be some like little fucking like dude dicking around in his basement, right? It's gonna be some high level whatever causing tampering with forces that he or she do not understand. But it's not gonna be like little Jimmy Two Shoes, like like I accidentally opened like the portal to the abyss. Like so, I think finding notable groups makes sense, and then we could also try and figure out who the F the Infinite are. But we have literally just the name. I'm not sure that's enough to like do research.
Right.
Like we might be able to like identify members of the group. Actually, no. How would we even do that?
I mean, we can try to look into see if like the Infinite as like an organization or name is mentioned like in any kind of like history, but I'm not sure if it will pop up. But we can definitely look. I'm also interested in maybe not even looking at like history or people, but just purely at the magic to see if like we can find any information on like types of magic that might cause like a disease, because from my memory we don't even really know like where the plague came from. Like, is it some kind of like necrotic thing, or like we don't have any information about like what kind of magic might have caused it, so maybe we can try looking into that too.
I think that makes a lot of sense. Yep.
Okay, so question for you guys is, who is looking exactly for what, and how many hours are you spending on each subject if there are multiple subjects?
How about let's split up so we can cover more ground. I will look into like different types of magic that might be used to cause like disease or something, and maybe Silky can look into like specific groups of people or something. Does that work for you?
I think that makes sense. Yep.
And I don't know, I mean, we're not really in a rush, so a couple hours maybe, and then we can regroup.
Okay. Go ahead and both of you roll a d20 then, and then add a 2. All right.
Oh yeah.
So let's start with Silky. So you're looking for groups, magical groups, or kind of magical dealing groups, I guess. Trying to find more shady ones. You're unable to find like more shady, curse, necrotic, disease-causing people type.
Okay.
But you do there's a lot of information on the Purple Vanguard There is a lot of information about magic in general. The one group that you do kind of read up a little bit, there's a little bit of information on, are called the Black Hawks, and they're kind of they're more of an association for dealing in weapons and artifacts and whatnot, but they're definitely known to be a little more shady. So you get a sense that they're like a rogue type association. But
And do I get the sense for where they're based out of, or they're just kind of like everywhere?
they're kind of everywhere, but you get the feling that they're most prominent in like big cities for sure.
Okay,
and
all right, but this
probably
is
human.
not like Castle Blackhawk, like off to the whatever.
No.
Okay,
They're
all
definitely more. I don't know what the word for it, but yeah, everywhere.
Underground.
Yeah.
Dispersed.
Like what is that organization in James Bond?
Spectre.
Yeah, like Spectre. Yeah. All right, Raida.
I'm assuming he didn't ever uncover anything like referencing the what are they
Infinite.
called? Infinite, yeah.
No, definitely no mention of the infinite.
Got it.
Even
Raida.
sorry, even if I specifically am looking for, like, and I think because Reddit, you were looking for what again? Remind me. Like you were looking for.
I'm just looking purely into like different types of magic.
Okay. Can I, before we go off me, can I also look through, like, some of look for like the notable scientific and magical personnel of the current age? Like who's the Einstein and the Tesla of like this age? 'Cause, again, I'm trying to find like who the bigwigs are, the people most likely to be like engaged in some weird shit.
I feel like it's
Is that a fair question?
different. I feel like that's a little bit of a different area, so you would have to spend different time on it.
Okay.
But you can keep going later after.
I will. Yes.
Okay, so Raida, you're looking just in general magic for what can cause a plague.
Plague or like any kind of like disease like based magic, like different schools or like I don't know. I'm not a very magical person,
Yeah.
but I guess I'm just kind of generally looking for anything that might possibly be connected to the plague in a very like general way. Like casting a broad net and seeing if anything like piques my interest in following that.
So
or something.
given your background as a character, non-magic using character, your role and the amount of time you spend on it, you kind of waste a lot of time reading about necromancy, and that's the obvious thing there. So I think you just don't find anything specific that would like raise alarm bells or anything like that. But yeah, you spend a lot of time reading about, or 2 hours reading about necromancy.
Okay.
But you guys can keep going.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely want to spend more time. If necromancy isn't leading me anywhere, then I try to look in like other directions, maybe.
Okay, how much time do you want to spend?
What do you think, Jake? Another 2 hours?
Yeah, I mean, I think we're not on really a time crunch. Like I was kind of planning on spending, like the up to the entire day here. Like
I
this
agree.
This is kind of our
well, the way I'm doing it is if you spend that 8 hours or whatever you decide to spend, you're not going to be able to look into anything else if you want to leave at that time.
Okay, I would spend a couple hours on that for sure. Like I think I would be like on my end, I'd be spending another couple hours looking for like notable personalities.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think 2 hour intervals is a very reasonable time to like either be like, there's something here, or there's like this is fucking garbage.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so give me another D20 with +2.
Fuck me.
Okay.
God damn it.
Oh.
Notable
swapped.
personalities for Jake, or sorry, Silky.
Yep.
Good question.
And again, I'm not assuming that there have to be evil either, because I'm also aware of the fact that the plague might have truly been an accident. So like whoever had enough like BDE to like cause a plague.
I think with your role, you just spend a lot of time reading about the Purple Vanguard. The most notable name that's mentioned is, the one that's current and alive is Kathrak. Valen.
Did he at least like learn some good information about the Purple Vanguard, like what they do and sort of like a deeper history about them?
Yeah, but it's more of what you already kind of know, right? So like they were founded by the Valen families. Since then they've kind of expanded quite a bit. All things magic and knowledge type stuff. Have a lot of dealings with the Purple Vanguard, or sorry, the Amber Academy. If his role was higher, Nick. Yeah, so yeah, that type of stuff. But not anything specific, and not anybody outside of this kind of general area with that role, unfortunately. As far as your role, what are you looking? Oh, other. Yeah, you definitely.
Yeah, probably not much.
Yeah, you get fixated on terms, and you kind of have to reread stuff that you don't understand, and you get bogged down, and 2 hours just fly by.
I discovered that I'm dyslexic. Damn, that sucks. Okay, well, I don't want to like spend the whole day on this because I also kind of wanted to look into some dragon stuff too, if we have the time. I guess I'll switch directions since this is not leading me anywhere. I would like to look into like just sort of like history of dragonborns and dragons, I guess their connection to dragons, and the symbol that I have that seems to affect Pot. See if I can like find that symbol anywhere, or just kind of any information about like people transforming into dragons, anything like that.
Sure, give me a d20 plus the number of hours you want to spend.
I will spend 3 hours.
Okay. And then Silky, what are you doing? Holy fuck-a-roll.
Oh, I'm an expert on dragons now.
Holy fuck-a-roll.
I become a dragon. Well, we struck on personality, we struck on demonic group. I'm trying to think what else would make sense while we're here.
Yeah. I mean, I guess you could look into just like this general time travel magic that we've been using. I don't know if that would be helpful.
Yeah, but the time travel is not part of the plague, is it?
No, it doesn't seem like it, but since like even like Riggs doesn't seem to be like fully understanding it, I don't know if that would be helpful.
Okay, that makes sense. I'll look into like if anyone's working with chronomancy or not.
Okay, d20 plus number of hours.
Oh no!
So yeah, Silky gets distracted.
Oh shit!
Yeah. So
can I be distracted by seeing young Ivarin?
Yeah, actually, that's exactly what I was thinking at the moment. Yeah, you're skulking between bookshelves and whatnot, and like as you're running, you catch a glimpse of this elf that is just covered around, almost like a fort around him of books, and you kind of run past, but then like backpedal and look around the bookshelf, and like you're pretty sure it's Ivarin.
Okay, real talk. This is like 75% of the reason why I came here in the first place. I'd like to go after, if acceptable, I would love to go after Rita goes because I have things I'd like to do.
Yeah, go for it. You're first.
What is Ivarin reading?
You're too far to see at this point, but he's covered by.
Can I try and stealth up behind him real quick?
Okay, roll a stealth check.
Shit.
So as you start approaching him, as you kind of look at him and you start sneaking towards him, he doesn't pick up on you. He's deep into the books.
Okay.
But as you start walking, taking steps toward him, you start beginning to feel an onset of vertigo and your head spinning. And then eventually, if you take another step, you kind of slump over the side of the bookshelf and kind of.
Then I would not fully approach him if I could feel that it was hurting me to do so.
Mm-hmm.
How close am I to him?
You're probably like at this point like maybe 30-ish feet.
Okay. I.
Go ahead.
Sorry.
Everybody, roll a Constitution saving throw.
Oh.
Oh no.
Shit.
Everyone?
Oh no.
Right out of nowhere, you begin to feel the vertigo, and you throw up on the
Okay.
book you're reading.
Oh no.
Shit.
Uh-oh.
Pod, similar thing. Well, yeah, Pod, a similar thing. You throw up all over, and you just continue. You just completely have your head go in a spin, and feel very, very sick. Probably for like at least an hour. Rida, you as well. Cornelius, you as well, out on the street. Just kind of slump over a little bit, and yeah. Even
Okay.
even Silky and Ivar, you guys feel woozy, and you feel like these instances are starting to get worse and worse.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
I am cocky, but I'm not stupid. So this is clearly what I've caused to happen. I will back away and not proceed with my plan.
Okay. All right, now on to Rida. All right, so you kind of start reading through books, and being a Shen, you kind of had a lot of dealings with Dragonborn in the past, for sure. So you're kind of already knowledgeable about, being traveled as well. You got a witness of their culture and whatnot. So you first read through the stuff you already know. Obviously, Dragonborn are kind of the demi-dragons, essentially, with true dragons being able to, their primary form is dragon, whereas Dragonborn, the primary form is humanoid, but both can theoretically transform into the opposite. And dragons obviously have phoenix-like properties, where when they die, they're reborn. Initially, the books that you're reading, initially they say that dragons came. The origin of true dragons is kind of a little ominous, but everybody seems to think there were 6 eggs or so that hatched into the true dragons. And one of them was the... oh gosh, I actually need to look up the name, because I think I forgot. My goodness. I'll find his name in a second. But essentially the dragon, the black dragon, which symbol Pod has seen, is the true dragon of chaos and fury.
Okay.
And he has believed to have disappeared in the Dragon Mountains, and having kind of secondary earth elemental qualities. The dragon kind of caused over time the formation, or so it's rumored, the formation of the Dragon Mountains to have their dragon shape.
Okay.
Let's see
Baller.
what else. You do actually kind of, when you're reading about this, like, you start reading more into the Chaos Dragon, and the more you go, you actually start seeing kind of other elements of chaos and darkness, which kind of brings you around to the topic of like rituals and demons and all that jazz. And you actually read about a group of 4 demons called the Dragon Riders.
Okay.
Who are rumored to have essentially be the riders of apocalypse. There was one that is the Dragon Rider of War and Destruction, but one of them kind of catches your eye. He's on a green dragon, the demon of the plague.
Holy shit!
Okay. This is what I was looking for. And so this symbol that I have from Pot is the symbol of the original black true dragon. It's like his emblem, or is it something like just sort of connected to chaos, or?
Yeah, it's kind of the dragon's emblem. Yeah.
Okay, got it. Okay. Are there other symbols in here, like pertaining to the other dragons that I can like? I don't want to damage the book. Can I like write them down so I have them for future reference?
Yeah. So Ozun is one of them.
Right.
There is a dragon of vines and plants. There's a dragon of the inferno in the sun. There is a dragon of ice. It's basically the opposite.
Mm-hmm.
That's 5, right? The last one, the dragon of the cosmos. Yeah, that's the last one.
Ooh.
So Ice, Sun, Plague, Cosmos, and what was the 5th? The first one?
Plants.
Yep.
Plants. And these are the Dragon Riders?
No,
These are
those
just the
true
original true dragons.
Jakar,
And
that's his name.
Ozun is the dragon of like time, right?
Yeah, light and
Knowledge,
time
yeah.
and knowledge.
Okay.
Yes. Jakar is the name of the chaos dragon.
Drakar.
Jakar, Djakar, and then the vine one. I should have. Starts with an M. These names are very complicated, and I forget them all the time. Anyway, keep going. I'll give you the name.
Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. They don't have like a
Morikoi. His name is Morikoi, of course.
Morikoi. Could you possibly
shit.
just like paste these?
I
all of
was
this-
wondering.
Yeah.
No fucking way.
Do they have like a copy machine where I can just like print this shit out? Probably
no.
not, right? How bad would it be if I rip these pages out? I mean, I guess I'll
Probably
just.
totally fine.
I don't want to damage the book. I will just take notes and I'll write all this shit down on like a piece of parchment that I have. I will try to copy the symbols as best I can, and yeah. Do I have any kind of like names for these like demon dragon riders?
Not other than their general kind of a relation. So, hang on one sec. So there's one of famine. Not famine. Well, famine is separate from the plague and disease one. So there's one of famine, one of plague and disease, one of war and death. Actually, the war and
Wouldn't
death
be
are separate. Yeah, so war is the one on the red horse and a big red horned creature with a big axe. Yeah, plague, famine, and death.
Got it.
Famine's the black one? Or
No, death is a different one. Death is black dragon, black demon. Death is green. War is red, and famine is yellow, orange.
yeah, cool.
Okay, this was very helpful. And so, from the true dragons, I know that Drakkar is the dragon of chaos and fury and darkness. Is he inherently evil, or is that just sort of his domain? Just because he's the dragon of chaos doesn't necessarily mean he's evil, or does it seem like he's pretty evil from what I'm reading?
Yeah, from what you're reading, yes.
Okay.
Also, in addition to what you have read about the 4 dragon riders, 2 of them seem to have appeared before.
In history?
Yeah. So the red one is tied to the singularity. You read about the singularity.
Mm-hmm.
And the yellow one is somewhat tied to about what would that be? God, years are difficult right now. 200-ish years ago.
What happened 200 years ago?
Yeah.
It's tied to an event, or was seen 200 years ago?
Essentially, there was a great famine 200 years ago.
Okay.
Okay. And how long ago was the singularity in this timeline?
Singularity was roughly 200 to 300. So those were pretty consecutive events.
But the Black Dragon Rider has never been seen, and I guess sort of never has the green, although
No.
Seems like. Okay. This was a lot more fruitful than I was expecting it to be. I will go.
So she gets
Silky.
so excited reading about all this, she pukes in the middle of it.
Yeah. Yes.
But she just keeps reading.
Okay, yeah, I will take as many notes as I can and go find Silky.
Well, Silky probably finds you first because he only spent 2 hours.
I guess that's true.
And now you are, 7 hours into it?
Yeah, I'm probably hungry. It's probably been all day, so maybe we should go back to the inn.
Okay,
Agreed.
you guys are going
Agreed.
back?
Yep.
Okay, so while they were at the library, Pot and Navarin, you see one of the castle guards walk into the inn, walk up to the bar and show some piece of paper, and the barkeep points at you guys, and he starts walking over.
Ivarin will stand up to welcome them and invite him to sit down at the table.
Pot will stand up as well. Almost like a child at someone else's house, being polite.
He outstretches his hand. It appears to be an elf. And he says, my name is Yinris, personal guard of Termo. I understand you wrote this letter.
That's correct.
Well, we normally don't, Termo normally doesn't see folk like you.
That's not very
Interesting
nice.
coin, though. Very, very nice fake.
A fake?
You're not there.
Yeah, they can't. It's impossible to prove that that's from the future. So whatever.
Yeah. Must have had your stamp on the wrong date there.
Got us.
Well, have you any further message for us from Termo?
No, Termo has not seen this letter. I'm here on my own.
Oh boy.
See just how interested you would be in in meeting him or whatever you're trying to accomplish?
Very interested, I assure you. Why else would we have minted a fake coin to get his attention?
Well, I have no interest in Termo Valen. As far as I'm concerned, he's a second-rate magician and unworthy of the Valen throne. So
Interesting perspective from one task to protect him.
perhaps. So let's say for the price of 500 gold, I can let you know his plans.
Oh,
This guy sucks.
this guy sucks.
Did he give a name?
Yeah, Yinris.
Yinris. Does he have, like, credentials to prove that he actually knows Termo?
You're not.
Wait, I'm not there. Never mind. Sorry. Shut up.
That would certainly occur to Ivarin, though. And Ivarin responds, "It's an interesting proposition, but how can we be sure we can trust you? You didn't even forward our letter to Termo."
How else would I have it? But you see these robes? You see this seal, and he lifts the robe, and on the inside there's kind of a golden embroidered logo of the Valen family crest.
And how can we be sure that you even know his plans?
I am part of his personal bodyguard.
I see. Well, unfortunately, I cannot agree to your proposal without first discussing it with my companions.
You
Shall we
let me
arrange
know?
to... I did, on their behalf. All of our behalves.
I'm afraid this is
Shall-
a one-time opportunity. Once I leave, the deal is no longer on the table.
Bro, fuck this guy. Don't let him strong
This
arm
guy
you.
sucks.
Shh, you're not there.
I know that there.
I'm sending
speaking-
vibes.
I'm
No
speaking-
metagaming.
Speaking to George, don't you fucking let Dimitri push you on like this, you motherfucker.
Ivarin turns to Pot with a meaningful look, trying to get his input.
Well,
Odd attempts to look at Ryda, but realizes he's not.
yeah, I look around for Ryder. I'm like,
He's like a
Damn,
deer
I
in the
can't.
headlights, like, oh shit.
I can't palm this one off. Well, I mean, I don't have the funds for it. But and I'll say to Yinris, could you just give us a moment in private just to discuss this little proposal that you've put forward to us, indicating like I just want to take a couple of steps back to talk in private with
Sure, you
Ivan.
have as much time as it takes me to get an ale, and he walks up to the bar.
I recommend it with sugar, and I
God damn it.
yeah. So I don't know about this one. This is a tough one. We obviously need to do this, but that is a lot of money. I'm trying to think of ways that we could perhaps bend his arm, but I don't think we can really piss this guy off because I assume he has some kind of power, being the personal guard to someone. We obviously don't want to get kicked out of the city and stuff like that. So, to be honest, my friend, I'm pretty short on ideas with this one. What about you?
I don't trust Termo, and I certainly don't trust this guy.
No.
I think
I mean,
we can find a better way to turn the situation to our advantage. Termo would likely be interested to know that his personal guard is selling out his secrets.
I agree. That's where my my brain went. But then I thought, if we threaten this guy with outing him, maybe he just comes back with his guard buddies and locks us up or something. I'm not sure how we can use that.
No, it wouldn't be to our advantage to threaten him now. I say we just turn him down and then keep this in our back pocket when we do meet Termo. It'll be valuable information that we might be able to barter.
We might need proof that this has occurred. I guess we've got the name, Yinris. We know his name. And we know there's some witnesses, I guess. But it might be difficult to prove. But maybe I'm overthinking it. But yeah, I'm happy with that. I agree. Let's turn this guy down. Say we can't afford that steep price. We're not going to pay, to get that much to get a letter done. Perhaps if he's willing to, would you be willing to part with 50 gold or something to get the letter there, or do you think just completely give him 0?
I think I have a better idea. I'll just let him keep the coin, the future coin, and then hopefully he still has it on his person when we confront Termo, and we can use that knowledge. We can use that knowledge as proof of what we say. Now, search his pockets. He's got that coin.
I like your style.
All right. Follow my lead. And Ivarin waves in respect over.
So, what did you decide?
Regretfully, we cannot afford your fee, good sir.
For folks that seek the audience of one of the most prominent family members in the lands, you certainly don't seem to have many resources at your disposal. But you know what? Just for you, I'll do it for 250.
250.
Sadly, I do not think we can accept your terms. But tell you what, why don't you keep that fake gold coin as a memento? It's still good gold.
Perhaps 1 gold can't buy you much.
No, but consider it a thank you for coming to speak with us.
Sure thing. And he begins to get up.
All right, Ivarin keeps his eyes on the guy all the way out the door.
Okay, he leaves. And then eventually everybody else comes back about 7 hours later in the evening.
Yeah, we spent the whole day there.
Yeah. I've got so many paper cuts.
Hopefully you don't have a parchment mite allergy as well.
So everyone's back in the tavern now, right?
Yeah.
Or wherever we're staying, yeah. So Pop will relay what's happened from our perspective and propose in ways of solving that problem. I think if we come across a wall in trying to get that information to Termo, I think we could perhaps go to the guards and ask for Yinris, and then maybe try and negotiate a lower fee if we absolutely stuck. But outside of that, I think we'll have to put our heads together to find out a way to get that letter to Termo, unless we play the patient game and see if Yinris decides to reach out to Termo anyway, because he is a little itchy and wants to know what's going on.
Yeah, this guy is... I don't know, he seems skeevy.
Yeah. I'm looking. I would love. I mean, we can't like go like street justice on everybody, but I want to fuck this guy up.
Yeah. And I do think, like, longer term, it would be better to, like, not to side with him if we're, like, it would probably be better to, like, try to get a audience with Chermo some other way and try to gain his trust by, like, revealing that he has some not very faithful people in his cohort.
Mm-hmm.
How did your adventure go today?
Our
You learn
adventure was
No.
very helpful.
Went really well.
Yeah, I'll relay all this information that I discovered about dragons and their origins and the dragon riders specifically. It definitely seems like there is some connection here with Termo and the plague. It seems like this green dragon rider is connected somehow. I will definitely not like show any of the symbols or like anything that I've written to Pot, but yeah, it seems like that's where the connection is. It's with some kind of demonic, draconic ritual that was performed and somehow unleashed the, I guess, disease, apocalypse, dragon rider is going to be my guess.
So, I mean, this is obviously really overwhelming for Pot to hear all this kind of stuff because it's like obviously what happened with Pot.
It seems
I
like
guess-
Pot is somehow descended from one of the true dragons.
The Jakar.
Yeah, the black dragon.
So then the info that we've found out, what you read today, is that that Jakar is not necessarily related to this green dragon rider that we suspect is going to cause the plague.
It seems not, although I do find it interesting that the symbol of Drakkar was with Chermo when we met him previously. I don't know exactly. I mean, I know the colors like associated with each dragon rider, but I don't know if those are like exactly related to like a true dragon that they are connected to or not. Because, well, it seems like Famine is the yellow-orange dragon, but from what we know of Ozun, like, I would be surprised if he was involved with that. Even though he's the gold dragon. So it could be that somehow Drakkar is connected to this dragon of plague. But I wasn't able to get any other, like, more specific information about that.
Okay, I think Pot sort of like slumps in his chair a bit, feeling rather overwhelmed. I think like the weight of, you know, having been a soldier, like having that past life, you know, is always weighing heavy on him. And then to hear like this is like a bit, you know, it's a lot of information. And him what happened before, it was sort of like a snap thing that happened, I guess, from him. Like, Pot has no memory of it. He doesn't remember actually turning into the dragon, anything like that. So for him, it hasn't seemed so real. And so almost like denial, because the group hasn't really acknowledged properly what's happened, and, you know, haven't searched for answers specifically about what happened and all that kind of stuff. And then now this is this moment where I guess it's just that little bit more real for Pot. Like, this is actually a thing, and it's not just something that we've sort of swept under the rug. So he yeah, he just like slumps in his chair and just sort of looks at the ground.
I'll just like put a hand on his shoulder and just say, like, you know, I'm sure this is a lot, but there's still a ton of information we don't know, and try not to worry too much. I'm sure that, farther we go down this rabbit hole, we'll continue to uncover things, and hopefully everything will become clearer with time.
Pot like nods. Doesn't say anything, but just nods.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, this is a huge step for us. I feel like this is kind of like the
Do we
biggest.
have? Yeah, but do we have? I think the big question though is, do we have actionable intel from this? So we've got more lore, but do we know where we're going next?
I mean,
like talking to Turbo, yeah, obviously, but like
Turmo, yeah. I think now that we know, sort of, there's very obviously
draconic.
demonic and draconic connection here that might help us narrow our searches down.
Yeah, you're right.
Because before we didn't know
we're just like,
really
who the fuck
anything.
knows?
Yeah, which is why I was kind of randomly looking into magic, which wasn't very helpful. But it seems like there's very much a demonic influence going on. And I don't know. I mean, maybe after we speak with Turmo, the next time we're at the pyramid or prism, I mean, if Ozun is there, he is one of the true dragons. He might have some more information. Maybe we can speak with him. Theoretically, he probably... I mean, I don't know, but he might have some more information about these dragon riders, or he might be able to help us steer us in the right direction.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
Hey, DM.
Mm-hmm.
When they have, mentioned and talked about the dragon riders and the infinite and the singularity and the dragon riders that have shown up for the famine and all that stuff, is any of that anything that I would would any of that spark anything in me?
Yes, it's definitely familiar, especially the famine part was around the time you were from.
Okay. Would I have seen the dragon rider at all?
No, you would not.
Okay.
But you can roll a history check.
Sure. If that doesn't pass, let me know.
How's a 20 for you? Yeah, so you know that the famine started around the New Reach area. And it kind of spread around the time that you and your friends were doing what you were doing.
Gotcha. You mentioned those dragon riders and the different, things. To be quite honest, I remember that famine quite well. It was tough for all of us. Not much food for anyone.
Would we? I mean, obviously, I don't think any of us, or I personally was obviously not alive for the famine, but would we have knowledge of it historically? If it was such a big thing that happened, would we know about it from history books or something like that?
Yeah, you would probably have heard of it, but these events, what's weird about them is they kind of left as quickly as they came, almost unexplainably.
Okay.
The red one had the singularity, I guess, which was kind of prominent, but the the other one didn't really have anything like that.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
What it's worth, it's living through one of those events is not exactly a fun time for most people.
Yeah. I mean, I can imagine if it was anything like the plague that, the rest of us have experienced, it probably was destroyed most of civilization.
Well, that's true. I suppose you've also lived through something similar.
But yeah, I think we should figure out if there's a way, what our next step is, trying to speak with Termo, and depending on what information we're able to gather from a meeting with him, if we can, see if we can direct our efforts towards more like demonic areas, or I mean, I don't know. We'll have to see what he says, but it seems like we're getting closer to sort of the answer of like what the cause of this is. And hopefully that will sort of also lead us to a possible solution.
All right. Well, I think we can take a break right here. Would probably be a good spot. We're going to take a short break, 5 to 10 minutes. I'm going to grab some snack or two, and we'll be right back, guys. Don't go anywhere.